I want to ask a little bit about what I heard something on your radio show last night talking about the big three, mainly between Kendall, Tasia, and Ivy. And could you talk a little bit more about that and just how important it is to have three players like that you can consistently depend on and those who can score the bulk of your points?
It's really important. That kind of started last year.
Yeah.
When Michael went down and how they all three stepped up. And it's really important when you have that. And, I'm a firm believer, like I said on the radio show last night. Paul Sanford always said, when you can have three players that can consistently show up for you, then you're going to have an opportunity to win on a lot of nights. And so I'm just really fortunate I have a chance to coach those three, and along with all the other players, and adding Micah back into the mix this year, and all the other players that have worked to step up, and with Ema and us having opportunity with players on the bench, and with Whit Creech coming in, and different players. So that's basically what that means, and it just gives you an opportunity, I think, to focus a lot on what you're doing and trying to get them the opportunity to get the best shot and be in the best position to have a chance to win. Between
those three, do you see that sort of takes pressure off of them individually to go in and score when they know that there's two others that can get it, take a good shot as well?
Oh, definitely. I think that's definitely something that any player would love.
Mm-hmm.
When you can look to your right and to your left, or look in the post, and you understand and know that you have, players that are working really hard to get the ball, they can score and do a lot of different things. That's what makes great teams. And I really feel like that we're working every day so we can become better. And our ultimate goal is to be a great team.
You've mentioned about other people stepping up defensively, like Malika, just being the aggressor, even though those things don't show up on the stat sheets per se. I think it's just 3 points from the bench. I know you guys are having a lot of success with the starters, but are you wanting more production from the bench in these games?
Well, I think different situations in games, it really just depends on what happens and what we do need. Like you said, a lot of those things don't show up in the box score, what Malika Frank did for our team in that first half when she got in the game. When you can get rebounds and get your hands on balls and deflect passes and do all those things, sure, we always want our bench to be able to outscore the opponent's bench, but you have to look at in that game type and that game setting what is needed. And I think that's what we try to do as a coaching staff, is to make sure we put them in that position so they can do everything they can, so they can feel, we talk to them all the time, you practice like you play. So we try to put them in that position where they understand and they're comfortable in whatever they're doing.
This is a UTEP team you're going to be playing, sort of struggling finding their way. How are you able to sort of just continue to maintain an edge with this team game in and game out when you're playing as well as they are? And it's sometimes maybe a team can look at an opponent, look at maybe how things have done, overlook them, but how do you make sure that doesn't happen?
Well, you don't overlook it. We talk about that every day. There's no one in this conference that you can overlook. I mean, the games that they've played, and they've been in ball games, and they're a young team. I mean, they lost a lot of people from last year, but they still have sparkle. They still have a lot of people that are back that can score and do a lot of great things, and they have a huge big on the inside that's averaging a double-double.
Yeah.
And so, that's a problem. You 6'3" posts that, you look at us and we don't have a lot of height. So, any situation, and when you go on somebody's home court, it's the records. Every game, I say this over and over again. In conference, there's no look at the record, and every record is out the window, and especially with us going on the road. So it's going to be a tall task for us this, on Thursday and Saturday.
More on Tamara. She's 6'4", center. I mean, you guys have had some success against the bigs, just spreading people out. So there's going to be a lot of confidence going into it, despite what she's able to do inside, that you guys can still get it done, right?
Definitely. I think she's different than a lot of 6'4s that we have played, because she's very athletic, and she rebounds very well, and she finishes a lot around the goal, and just very active. Some of the other 6'4s that we have, we've been able, like you said, to stretch the floor and pull them out some. But we're going to have to be able to contain her and make sure that we're boxing out and we're paying that special attention to her in detail and what we need to. So it is going to be a challenge, and we just got to make sure that we do the things we're supposed to do in the game plan, and how we're playing, how we're changing up defenses, and the things we're doing.
Coach, I want to ask you about the two UK transfers of JC and Kyvan, and kind of just how they've been able to have their impact on this team, and then how much do you kind of look for transfers, and do you think that's something that a market that's kind of growing in the women's side of the college game?
Well, we're very fortunate, with JC, being, up the road and understanding and knowing about our program, and watch JC play in AAU basketball, and we're very fortunate. She has family that lives here in Bowling Green. Every situation is different. Calvin Gooden Rogers recruited her when I was at Louisville, and that was a relationship thing. So, when you talk about, I think the landscape of it is changing. I don't know to how much degree, but it is on the women's side. but it happens. You see it a lot. I think you see it a lot more in men, or maybe with the fifth-year transfer thing. But for us, what we just try to do is we try to make sure we look for a good fit. We look for fits that fit what we're trying to do, and players that can perform at the level that what we're trying to do here. And I think what we try to look for is players that can play multiple positions, or that they add things to what we need. And we needed an unbelievable shooter, and JC's not only an unbelievable shooter, she's a great player and just a great person, a great fit for us.
At this point in the season, is this kind of where you thought your team might be, and what kind of things have you think you all done well to get here?
Well, everybody, we had this veteran group coming back with our two fifth-year seniors, and I'm really pleased with how we've grown. I think we knew our schedule was going to be tough in the non-conference, and I think we did the things that we needed to grow up and kind of learn and put our players in those situations so we can keep getting better. It's almost February, and this is the time that you work for, and we just want to continue to work on the things we need to. So when February hits, they say you're supposed to be playing your best basketball, and we're hoping that we can get to that point.
Michelle, I got here a couple of minutes late. I apologize. So if you got asked this, I apologize. I'm sure there's some kind of an adjustment when you get back. The students are back in their first week of class. But the fact you have 2 road games, is there anything you kind of keep a special eye on, or even tweak as far as preparation? Do you know where I'm going on that question?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think it's a great question. It's always different when they come back and they got to, get back acclimated to classes and the new teachers and a lot of things that's happening. It is going to be a different situation for us because we're going to be gone. But we talk to our players about that. They understand and know the schedule. We won't tweak anything. We do the same thing. We'll travel on the same day. We'll do the things like we normally have done, because I'm a real firm believer of having consistency. And then we just have to make sure we have a great athletic department with academics, and they'll make sure that they know, and we talk to our players about making sure they communicate with their teachers. And so it's hard being a student athlete, and it's hard when you travel and the way we do, but we're prepared for it.